Transfers effectively completed, some more of the deadwood has been shifted out, and we have European football to look forward to this season. Welcome to Season 5 with Dundee United. Hello and welcome back to Unemployed to Legend, episode 11 with Dundee United. My name is Craig and coming up in today's video we have all the transfers in and out over the summer, as well as the first game of the new Premiership season away at Hibernian, who finished literally just behind us last season, so a good first day test for us. If you are looking forward to the new season coming up and our upcoming European adventure that I will be showcasing this season, make sure you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button so you don't miss that upcoming European adventure, the first one for Dundee United in many years, I believe. I'm not even sure when they were last in Europe, but since you were last with me when we did the little bit of the prep for the transfer window, yeah, it's been a not so busy summer. I feel it's been fairly tame, especially when it comes to actually bringing players in. But first up, we are going to go through the players who have actually left. Not so much the players who went on loan, because a lot of them were actually youngsters, but we have chopped down a lot of the deadwood. I think you can see just about some of the names that have gone. Some of the deadwood, such as the likes of Jacob Comerford, Ian Love, Kieran McKinley, well, he's gone out on loan. Who else has actually gone? Alistair Davidson, who was only 20 years old, but apart from his physicality, he did not look good enough for this squad. So he went to, where did he go to? Just swap screen again. He went to Arbroath in the lower leagues for £16,000. Archie Meekerson only went to Queen of the South for £55,000. I think Queen of the South on the Premiership side. Okay, but they wanted a player who very rarely ever plays for us. A lot of players again have gone out on loan, a lot of the youngsters effectively. Samuel Cleo Harding has gone to Ross County for £16,000. Kieran Sadlier, 31-year-old, he finally left. He went to Kilmarnock, newly promoted Kilmarnock, £110,000. Not too bad that we managed to get rid of him for that price. Darren Watson, 22-year-old, he's gone to Nuremberg in Germany for £20,000. What was that, 22? No, not even, £17,000. And on top of that, probably our biggest sale of the summer, a youngster, Gavin Smith, who was on loan at TNS last season. We bought him in a year ago for free. We sold him to Rotherham for £200,000. Good price. I mean, I was looking at this guy maybe to bring him for this season, but quite honestly, we're well covered for youngsters now on the left wing, which we will go through in just a moment. But £200,000 though, that did help, not only getting the wage bill down, but also getting a little bit of money in, because we're still not a big enough club to sell half decent players or even youngsters for several £1 million. Now, as far as players coming in goes, like I said, very quiet. Overall, I think we brought about 5 players in. Not as much needed. I didn't massively overhaul the squad. It's more just about getting squad depth to allow us to actually compete in Europe and in the league. So players who have come in, first up is a new left winger, Andre Green, 28-year-old winger. 3.5 star current ability and the same in potential as well. Like, he's only 28 years, well, I say only, he is 28 years old. Main reason we brought him in, fairly consistent performer, offers a lot more depth on that left wing and the right wing actually, which we desperately needed. We brought him in from Slovan Bratislava in Slovakia, £625,000. Again, we're not rich enough to bring people in for millions. We can't compete with Rangers or Celtic for those sort of signings right now, especially as they're way higher in reputation. We're only 3 stars now, so as much as it's an increase for us, we need to have a run in Europe and be regularly in Europe before we can even hope to bring those sort of players in, assuming I'm still here by then. Next signing is Darren Caldwell from Hearts for £160,000, 19-year-old Scottish midfielder. He is a youngster, one for the future a little bit, but if we do need some more depth in central midfield, hopefully we can call upon this guy. He seems a bit more defensive minded, apart from, well, his marking isn't that great, but he can be a ball winning midfielder or a deep line playmaker, defensive midfield or central midfield, so he gives us a bit of options in midfield overall, which I do feel we need a little bit more, certainly defensive minded. I think that's the only ones we made just before the season ticked over, yes. Next up, which was on the 1st of July, so free transfer deadline day, but we'd already agreed the signing of this guy from Norwich on a free, Gabriel Sara, 27-year-old Brazilian midfielder slash winger slash attacking midfielder. I mean, he is effectively an all-rounder. I did kind of break the bank to bring him in a little bit. He's played in the Championship for the most part with Norwich, as well as a loan spell back at Sao Paulo. Makes me wonder if he was homesick. But he's a good Premiership player, leading Cinch Premiership player as well. He'll compete with Ramon Enriquez for attacking midfield spots. So if Gabriel Sara does play there, then Ramon will just slot right back into central midfield. But let me just show you the contract that I had to agree with him. My goodness, we literally had to pay him all the bonuses just to keep this wage down under £10,000, because he was asking for about 16, 17. I'm not paying that. Overall, do I feel he's worth it? I'm certainly hoping so. He may not look like an absolute world beater, but for Premiership level and hopefully for the Europa League, he will be a very, very good player for us. Hopefully a bit of a missing piece in our current puzzle until we start to move up maybe to that next level. We'll see how he does, although it's worth noting he's picked up an injury already. So he's out for up to 3 weeks, so you won't see him in this episode sadly, which is a shame. Justin Fedezaj from Shamrock Rovers, 21-year-old Irish midfielder slash winger. 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential. Good Premiership player. A lot of pace on him. Personally, another bit of a utility player in midfield and on the wings. Comes in from Shamrock Rovers after doing fairly well for them. So I'm assuming he's got a Irish Premiership medal. Yeah, he does. 2023. Yeah, he's a bit of a winner in Ireland, so hopefully he'll bring that winner's mentality with him. He was a regular for Shamrock Rovers for several years, so hopefully we'll see a bit of that for Dundee United. And speaking of utility players, you can't get more utility than Joe Rankin Costello. Look how many positions this man can play. He is our James Milner. He is our Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He's a 27-year-old English player who can play everywhere. I was about to say his position, but what position exactly? Although I know exactly where he's going to be playing more often than not, and that is going to be as a third choice left back. Although he might not be that today. You'll see why in a moment. Good Premiership player again, consistent performer, professional player. He is basically our gun for hire in any position where we see fit except attack and in goal. That's absolutely fine. He'll see game time this season. £350,000 as well. Very good bargain for a player who can play everywhere. Justin Ferizaj, by the way, £500,000. Got to say how much he came in for. But overall, really, we didn't spend that much. About just over 1.5 million, 1.75 million at most. And overall, we've made roughly, well, we've made a negligible amount, about nearly £500,000. So not a bad transfer window. Very low key, but I don't think it needed. I hope it didn't need a complete full-on rebuild. But we know from last season this squad is a good Premiership squad. It can get us into Europe. I just hope that's going to be the case again this season, because the aims for this season have to be a good European run in either the Europa League or Europa Conference League, preferably Europa League, so we can get in as much of that sweet cash as possible. In fact, before we go to the tactical meeting, let me just show you. Oops, not the development centre. We are in debt by £2.5 million. Quite frankly, we need to sort that out. We need to be getting the money in so we can actually spend and hopefully compete with Rangers and Celtic. And as I said before, that depends on if we're still here by then, because obviously if a bigger club comes along, or in a bigger league for example, I'm going to consider it. I'm trying to become a legend. Maybe that can happen with Dundee United, but it's going to take a very long time. But we're going to face Hibernian now, first game of the season, big test away from home. So this is the starting 11 for the first game. Vickers is in goal. Back four: Strap, Edwards, Wu and Johnson. Ryan Edwards, I was back to say should I put O'Connor in, but Edwards has been very unhappy over the summer. He's had it in his head. We've been trying to buy Rob Atkinson, a defender from one of the clubs in England, but I've not even considered bringing the man in. He was 27 years old, looking for a bit younger than that. And I didn't promise Edwards the game time, so he's had us drop the entire summer. I went to the media and said, yes, we'll give him the game time. He's now holding me to that promise. So we'll see how he does today. We'll give him the game time. Wintle and O'Donnell in the midfield, with Andre Green making his debut on the left wing, Rankin Costello with his debut on the right wing, Enriquez in attacking midfield behind the absolutely fantastic Johnny Kenny. Long may that continue. 2 debutants in this match. Of course, injuries have been plaguing us this summer as well. Thomason and Banshiki have just come back, as had Kieran Freeman, who's not in the squad today. Liam Morrison, our new captain, is out for up to 3 months with a hip injury. Mane and Cooley out for up to 5 weeks. Sarah, as mentioned previously, is out for up to 3 weeks. Mikey Johnston will be back for the next game against Aberdeen, so he'll hopefully be around for the next episode, as will Sarah, hopefully. And I hope that is the case, because the next episode will be a Europa League match, at least a second leg, because we've also got Celtic smack bang in the middle of those 2 games. So we need all our best players available. Want to be impressed today. I mean, I don't know how well that's going to go down. Hibernian away from home is a tricky test. We have won here. We have also lost here. I can't remember. I think we've drawn here as well. We've done everything here. So, difficult squad that we're coming up against. Hibernian had a run to the Europa League quarter-finals last season, ironically. So there is hope in the Europa League that a Scottish team such as us can go fairly far, as long as we play our cards right. Of course, the league phase that we're going to have coming up after the playoff, depending on what competition is going to be, is going to... That was very close. Is obviously going to determine if we can make it into the knockout rounds, because those 8 clubs are completely chosen at random. There's not even a draw from them. Not even a draw for the league phase by UEFA. It's only like the first 2 seasons where it's the actual group stage that they actually do a proper draw, which is a bit of a shame. O'Donnell on the ball there. There is Kenny, who just about keeps hold of the ball. Strap on the left, plays it into Ramon, and Ramon just puts it wide. So I think he has scored once since he's arrived, as Ramon. But I've got high hopes for him this season. Hopefully he will, now he's had pre-season under his belt, hopefully he'll be a bit more settled in and he'll start to give more consistent performances. Not that he wasn't last season, but oh dear God, another injury. I just saw that Andre Green got injured. Foot injury. Fantastic. Alright, Felizaj is going to come in on the left hand side. So we've got debutant number 3, and Andre Green has lasted half an hour. Fantastic. Strap with the corner. Put it on the big man's head. Oh, Rob Edwards as well. Had he scored there, okay, I'd have been impressed. I would have been very impressed from a player who's had a summer of strops. Christopher Roux, effectively a ball-playing defender, even if he isn't on that role, because I still don't trust Dundee United to actually play that role very, very well. The case in point, even my midfielders can't do it. Oh boy, right. Woo, Winsell plays the ball long to Felizaj on the left. Let's see what you got. You got a good cross in you? Oh my God, he did have a good cross, and O'Donnell had a shot on him. Ooh. Ooh, that was tasty. If we've got some good wingers in our squad this season, I'll be very impressed. Speaking of wingers, actually, Ovura Edwards and Poku, I said I wanted to get rid of this summer, but they are still here, but they're rotting in the reserves because I don't really want them in the first team squad. Namely because we have about 30 players, actually no, 28 players in the squad overall. Well done by Ramon there to keep the ball. Make a pass, please. Thank you. And Rankin Costello with a debut goal. I did not expect that to happen, actually. He just shot, what was that, outside the area? And what a goal, what a shot that was. Ramon did well to keep the ball. Finally made a pass. He had about 3 players who couldn't take the ball off him. Nice little pass by O'Donnell, and Rankin Costello from the edge of the area. He's got a good ball, good foot on him, hasn't he? I said he was going to be our 3rd choice left back, but if he continues like that, well, Banshiki might have some competition on his hands. And is that a penalty? Yes, as soon as that graphic happens. Oh, was that Edwards who gave the ball away, the penalty away? Okonkwo's not in goal either, it's Vickers. Okonkwo is more of the penalty saver than Vickers. Unless he wants to prove me wrong, but I don't have high hopes. I take it back, we've got 2 penalty saving specialists here. Oh my gosh, Vickers showing Okonkwo that he's not about to give up his starting spot that easily, and it stays 1-0 going into the break. We got lucky there. The XG is higher for Hibernian because, well, of course, they had the penalty. Penalties are so high in XG, even if you miss it. Right, Strap with the throw-in. Oh my god, what happened there? The ball just ricocheting everywhere. As Wu wins the ball back in the air, lovely stuff. O'Donnell over to Rankin Costello. Plays the ball in, and it is headed just out. That's Hibernian are on the counter. O'Donnell doing his midfield duties very, very well. Verisage plays the ball over to Ramon. We've not seen anything of Kenny. No, well, we just did there. But he's possibly offside. Please don't start this again this season. Please don't start this nonsense. It's just annoying. Yes. Kenny's had an entire pre-season to try and figure this out. Please just let him actually stay onside this season. I know he was the top scorer in the league, but imagine if all those times he was offside, imagine how many goals he would have had. Damn near 40. He would have had damn near 40 goals. Beautiful finish by Kenny. And Ramon in the assists to start off the season. He didn't get an assist for the first goal. That was obviously for O'Donnell. But considering he had 3 players on him who couldn't get the ball off him at any point, my god, Strap is well out of position. He is on an attack duty, to be fair, and well held there by Vickers. In fact, what we're going to do, Strap is going to drop back to a support. No need to have him go too mad. As I've noticed, Hibernian have made a few substitutions. We're going to make some in a moment as Wu's free kick just hits the woodwork. We are coming up on substitution time. So I think it's only fair we see a few different players as well. Oh my god, so yeah, everybody's tired. Right, Wu's going to come off. O'Connor is on. Let's have a look. Strap is knackered. Alex Murphy is at left back. Remember, Greg Cunningham has retired. And I think actually O'Donnell's going to come off. He's tired. Thomason will come on and be that ball-winning midfielder. I think we'll leave it for the moment. I know Enriquez is knackered. We'll more than likely come off very soon. I can't speak for some reason this morning. I think I'm distracted by the fact it is pouring down with rain outside right now. The Hibernian still got the attack on, but Ferazaj, well done, cuts it out very, very nicely. O'Donnell, who hasn't gone off yet, so substitutions I don't think have actually taken place. It's been like 2 minutes. Ref, would you like to actually let us make the subs? And the Hibernian have scored. I put that down to the fact the subs have not been made yet. Come on. That's crazy. Alright, now they go through. Good grief. Our defence was tired for that. No wonder. I was about to say Darnell Johnson hasn't gone off yet. Now we're losing the ball way too often here. And I don't know, is it just purely the tiredness? I thought pre-season was meant to sort this out. For goodness sake, guys. This happens too often. This happened last season with always late in games. We would get so tired. What is going on? We've had pre-season to try and sort this out. Oh, Kenny is through here. Come on, Kenny. Oh, you'd have bet him on him scoring that. What happened there? Right. I think we've got one more substitution. Andre Green going off kind of put a spanner in those works. So Enriquez. No, you know what? Banjiki. Get him on. Banjiki is going to go on. And that's quite disappointing to go 2-0 up and to be pegged back to 2-2. That wasn't quite what I was expecting. But although we do have a free kick here, Banjiki. Oh, it's just headed over or headed into the side netting. It's the opening day of the season, and yeah, we did this last season. We drew against Aberdeen, who were around us in the league as well. That's disappointing to give that away. I mean, ultimately it could have been worse had their penalty gone in, but it's alright. We'll hopefully figure this out. as over the next few games, or if we need to, because Aberdeen are actually next. Yeah, screw it. 2-2. At least we can show we can compete with a pretty decent Hibernian side away from home, but we should really have won that match. But we'll hopefully get that sorted. In fact, how long is Andre Green out for? He could have stayed on. Then again, had he stayed on, it would have probably been about a month out. Right, we are going to be back for... You know what? I think we're going to come back for that Celtic game. We'll see at home how we're going to do against them. Note that they've already won their opening match 5-1 this weekend. And then we're going to be back for the Europa League playoff second leg. We haven't been drawn a team yet. I think they're still in the actual earlier qualifying rounds. Yeah, it's going to be drawn tomorrow. So it'll be a nice surprise for you in the next episode who we are going to get. If you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button so you don't miss the Europa League playoff that is coming up in the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for your support on the series so far. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode.